Barb Abney with the Go Local Spotlight, and I am joined by 2/3 of Mixed Blood Majority.
Yeah.
Say hey, Laserbeak.
How you doing?
I'm good. And?
Hey, how's it going?
I'll say your name.
No, I don't want anyone to know who I am. That was the purpose.
Joe Horton.
Joe Horton.
We're joined by a special guest, Audrey. You may hear from her a little bit later. So we're celebrating the brand new record. You're releasing it. Well, you released it last week, right?
Mm-hmm. December 4th, yep.
Insane World, the name of the new album. Tell me everything about it.
It's our little like pride and joy right now. I think we spent the good part of the last 2 years working on it, and we basically, Alexi, Joe, and myself kind of came together to just kind of form this side project thing a few years back. Mm-hmm. Released a self-titled album, and that was just kind of us, I think, dipping our toes in the water and getting familiar with one another and how we create music. And this one is like, destroy and rebuild, and we really wanted to craft a new sound, and we were really like meticulous in particular with the details. So it feels like, to me, this is the first real official like statement with the three of us in a confident, like us on the top of the mountain, belting it out or whatever.
Yeah, it's the first record we wrote together, because the last record were a lot of beats that Laserbeak had already had, he handed us a hard drive and he was like, go through and pick out what you wanted. And we talked a lot about the shape of that record and like what it might sound like, but this record, we started it from scratch together and really figured out the sound we wanted to make together. So it feels much more collaborative than the first record in a lot of ways.
This is the first time that I've ever, usually I start any project with at least a handful of beats that I've already made that are kind of in a stockpile. And this is the first time ever that it was like nothing. We didn't go through any of that old stuff, and we talked it out, the three of us, and we kind of talked about a sound we wanted to go for. And then we just kind of started throwing things against the wall, and there's a lot of scraps that didn't make it, but I think we like eventually like honed in on this thing that we're all really into. So it was one of the more difficult, I think, and strenuous at times projects, but then the end result, you can see like how that all pays off. So I'm really proud of it.
Is there a prevailing like thread through the entire album?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Crescent Moon and myself are known for, people have lots of different names for our lyrical style. It's like abstract, surreal, heady, like whatever, some not so friendly names for it as well. And with this record, we really wanted to bring that same energy to it, but lighten it up a little bit, like whip a little levity into things that really are like really serious topics. So a lot of it has to do with just our sort of philosophical bend with regard to a lot of the top things that are going on right now. Obviously Minneapolis is touched by, the sort of national mood and race relations more than some cities are. And we wrote this record before any of that happened specifically, but it was definitely informed a lot of what Alexi and I we're both very just affected by the national mood, I guess, and like just really felt it very heavily, and wanted to figure out some way to translate it that would be pointed and sharp, but not prescriptive or just telling people what they needed to do in order to fix the world and fix themselves, because that can get a little much sometimes. So.
It seems a little more aggressive than anything you've done before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it cuts. Like I'm really into aggressive rap. I love aggressive rap. Like I think a lot of people come up to me at shows and stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, man, do you listen to this, all this?" And I'm like, "Nah, I don't." The stuff I listen to, you probably wouldn't like. Like really, like I listen to Pusha T, is one of my favorite rappers, and something comes on by him and it just cuts, and I just love it. I love Kanye West. Like, yeah, people are, I think, surprised by some of our musical tastes, like what we listen. And we listen to a lot of. I also listen to weird avant-garde classical composers. So we listen to sort of all across the board. But with regard to rap, I just wanted to make something that had like that step to it and just cut. And like, there's so much like politeness going around with a lot of stuff, and I just didn't want to be polite. I'm just not, I just don't want to do that. I don't have any interest in that. So the lyrics sort of definitely took on more of an aggressive, confrontational tone than a lot of stuff that we'd done before that was more reflective and pondering and stuff.
Right, totally. Yeah, I think the sound too, everything kind of went that direction, whatever.
A little darker.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't know if it'd be possible to get there, but yeah, I think we got there.
It's a little metally.
It's a little meddling?
Metal.
Oh, I thought we were going.
Oh, it's a little metally. Yeah, it's a little metally.
Those meddling.
It's
meddling
Diaper
punks.
Town.
We would have gotten away for it too.
It feels. There's some metal to it.
It does. It has like an industrial vibe at times, I think. Yeah, it's kind of a cold, industrial sounding thing. I really like that. I think we we all have felt kind of pegged sometimes in this kind of indie hip hop world of, consciousness and, I don't know, like backpacker stuff that everyone kind of always has resorted to. And like Joe mentioned, I think we're all influenced by a lot of different music and obviously by a lot of different things going on in the world. Right. And so this felt like this kind of overarching vibe that we wanted to get across. And I think from lyrics to music, it ended up blending in a way that, like, I really appreciate these guys for not going the preachy route, which I think a lot of people have a tendency to fall into, and just use their thoughts and their expression as just kind of like a canvas for what's affecting them.
So you've done a little bit of touring recently. I mean, you went out on the road with Doomtree for a couple weeks, right?
Laserbeak toured, opened for himself.
How was that?
That was awesome.
Was that double dipping or what?
My fingers hurt a little bit. But yeah, no, it was great. We brought Mixed Blood out, or Doomtree brought Mixed Blood out as the main support on this final leg of tour. So we did a week throughout the Midwest and East Coast, and we even hit Toronto, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And it was great, and it was perfect because obviously we've all known each other. Both crews have been tight for a long time, right. But with this release show coming up tonight, this was almost like a 6-day, 7-day long practice for us. So we came back just feeling, this is the first times we played some of these new songs live, and now we came back like honed in and leveled up, and I feel like just really ready to hit it at First Ave tonight.
So you're going to be playing opening up for you. Let's talk about that. Girl Party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ultimate.
Yeah,
we're so homegirls. Yeah, we love them so much. Like they're great people. Like we love being around them, and we feel the music. So it was sort of a no-brainer. That lineup was this like weird fantasy thing. Like we were all hanging out, meeting, and we were like, okay, what's the perfect lineup? Like just hypothetically, what if we can get Girl Party and Steph to come down in this alternative universe? And it ended up working out.
That's amazing.
It's fantastic.
When it takes time maneuvering and getting dates and all that stuff, and everybody's schedule. Obviously, you're dealing with us and Girl Party and POS. There's a lot of schedules and personalities to rein in, and and when it all came together, it was like jaw dropping. Like, oh man, it just felt like, okay, this is right. This is gonna be a party. There's no like stress anymore. It's just gonna be a really fun night, memorable night. And
I gotta say, since there's typically this weekend at First Ave in December, there's kind of a hip hop event going on. So kudos to you for keeping that alive. I know, right? This kind of feels like I was talking to Sonia who runs First Avenue, and she was, Doomtree had done the blowout there with them for the last decade. This is the first year we're not doing it. And she was like, I knew you guys couldn't stay away in December. And it kind of was like a relief. I was talking to Steph at POS about it, and it's like, oh yeah, we don't have to like completely sever ties. This is like almost a cool way to still celebrate that kind of time of year and just throw a crazy show, have fun, bring some rap fans out. So Girl Party, POS, Mixed Blood Majority tonight, First Avenue in the main room. I can't wait, guys. Oh man, yeah, it's gonna be great. Either. Very excited. What's next? After this, in general, what's next for us? Like, what's next? Like today? Like, am I gonna go get lunch after this? No, I imagine. I figured you were gonna take me out for lunch because I gave you. We're gonna go. Gonna get a chocolate cookie. You still got pick up your talent tickets and we'll head over to the depot. Yeah, there you go. Well, Kill the Vultures is gonna be touring next year, and they just dropped a record on Totally Gross National Product. So we'll probably be taking a little bit of a hiatus while they're out in Europe and playing some shows with they'll be playing the Police CD release party. With Fog, which is going to be epic. Oh, that's going to be amazing. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah. So we'll probably take a couple months off for that, and then hit some more shows and do some more rapping for the doing folks. Some one-offs and festivals and stuff in the spring and summer, and I don't know, just kind of trying to get the word out. We basically self-released these last 2 records, and we're just trying to, under the banner of Doomtree and Fix, Joe and Alexi's collective, but we're just trying to. It's very organic, and it's very we say DIY a lot, but it's like. We picked up the CDs in our trunk, and we're just trying to get rid of them now and get people to listen to them. So I think the next couple of months will be more of almost like a campaign of just like, open up your ears, people. Yeah. Check this out, and just trying to get the word out more and more, get some videos out there and things like that. Very cool.